Prepare to experience the strongest radio allowable by law. Secrets will be revealed. Myths dispelled. From the studio gym where excuses never apply, it's Superhuman Radio with your host, Carl Lenore.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Superhuman Radio. I love these kind of shows because today we're going to talk about the therapeutic effects of an easily obtainable compound that have profound effects on disease states. And we put this knowledge in your hands because anytime somebody can give you an answer that you can apply to a disease state that doesn't require you to use the traditional standards of care, which oftentimes have lots of negative effects. It's powerful. It's powerful to have this knowledge. And we're going to be talking to, all the way from Istanbul, Dr. Betül Gürünlü, who has not only just published a paper, but also published a complete book that puts this power right in your hands about one specific compound. And we first started to investigate Beta-Glucan with Joel Green, author of the Immunity Code, and some of the benefits of elevating levels of it. But this is going to go so much further than anything we've ever talked about on the show before. And I'm going to tell you something. This is a must-have book. This book should be in your home because anytime you or someone you love start talking about, well, I was just diagnosed with this, I was just diagnosed with that, you'll want to go to the chapter that covers that disease and look at what Beta-Glucan does for those people. Before we get started, we have to thank our title sponsor, Legendary Foods, makers of the Tasty Pastry. This is a healthy snack with less than 1 gram of sugar, 20 grams of high-quality protein, and 4 to 5 net carbs if you're a low-carb keto person. But more importantly, they taste amazing. They taste like real cake. In fact, they taste so much like real cake that you'll probably have a hard time keeping your kids from eating them all. They are so delicious. Go to shrnetwork.biz/legendary. Use the code SHR10 to save 10% off. And hey, let the kids eat them. If they think it's junk and they eat them, good for you. You win as a parent. Okay, now let's bring my guest on. Welcome to the show, Dr. Betül Gürünlü.
Thank you very much, Carl. As you mentioned about the COVID-19 shows that global pandemic disease and resulted, unfortunately, 6 million people died and all over the world. And we, all of us, understand the importance of the health in our lives. And for this reason, all over the world, people understand they should improve their health conditions. And
let's start here. What is beta-glucan and what foods contain it?
Beta-glucan is a polysaccharide that are composed of linear chains, beta-glucoside linkages, and contain 1,6 beta-glucoside linkages. And it's a polysaccharide, and they are basically found in the mushrooms and yeast, oats, and also includes in the grains, whole grains, cereals, seaweeds, and oats, and they are mostly prepared from the fungal cell walls, and it has been used in Asia as a immunostimulant and adaptogenic and detoxifying medicine, and it's back to 3,000 years ago in China. And first of all, in Kawasaki, Japan, in Tokyo University, they are isolated beta-glucan from mushroom, shiitake mushroom, and in 1969, and from those dates, they are widely used in medicines.
Well, okay, so many of the things that you mentioned, oats and grains and cereal grains, on things that a large number of our population now avoid because they are starchy carbohydrates and they contribute to some other issues. But obviously mushrooms, that's a winner. But also I've learned that that walnuts, whole walnuts, raw walnuts contain a lot of beta-glucan as well in them. So there are other things that people can eat besides cereal grains to get beta-glucan, right?
Yeah. Largely, beta-glucan includes in the yeast, and then they are the mushrooms also. Secondly, consist of major source for beta-glucan, and they are also.
So since beta-glucan seems to be readily available in both mushrooms and yeast, is beta-glucan a result of some sort of fermentation process that's happening naturally in nature?
They are includes in the some fermentation processes and extracted from the extraction process. They are extracted from the yeast and the cereals, and they are originally includes in the these food sources, and you can directly take the beta-glucan from the foods that I mentioned, cereals, and the milligram and the amount of the beta-glucan changes sources to sources. But the advising amount which by the Food and Drug Administration recommends an intake of 3 grams per day of beta-glucan.
3 grams, 3,000 milligrams? Okay.
3 grams per day of beta-glucan, reducing the cholesterol. And they advise us by Food and Drug Administration in 1997. And also American Diabetes Association pointed that main aim should be kept low LDL cholesterol level less than 2.6 millimole per liter in individuals without over cardiovascular disease. It has also a strong antioxidative property, which helps in overcoming the problem of oxidative stress of the human body. Also, beta-glucan reduces the chronic fatigue syndrome and inhibits the cancer development. Tumor development also inhibits.
Is there reason to think that eating foods, whole foods that contain beta-glucan,
Yes,
is better than taking a supplement? Because I see they sell beta-glucan in 500 milligram capsules on a lot of different websites. Is the supplement as effective if you don't have a diet that gives you access to a lot of beta-glucan? Does supplementation work?
yes, supplementation work because they are totally includes the beta-glucan, but you can take the beta-glucan in a natural way. I mean, the daily foods you consume includes the beta-glucan. You can take directly beta-glucan, but these drugs and the
Supplements, these supplements.
supplements, yeah, and the amount, the actual amount of the
Right.
beta-glucan
Right.
when you take them.
Right. So let's talk about some of the disease states and some of the different functions that seem to be affected by beta-glucan. So you said COVID a moment ago. Now, beta-glucan seems to be an immune system modulator. It appears to be a modulator, not a booster, because in the case of, let's say, COVID-19, the immune system is overreacting and creating inflammation at a rapid rate. Now, that's the evidence of a strong immune system, a lot of inflammation. But the beta-glucan seems to suppress unwanted inflammation. Is that correct?
Yes, suppress the unwanted inflammation, and it decreases the, for example, rheumatoid arthritis disease. It gives the better results on the papers, on the scientific papers. Its activity on various diseases, which depends on the inflammation, and it gave better results. Actually, and by they are boosting the macrophage, neutrophils, and natural killer cells, and by doing that, it's boosting the immune system, as you say.
Interesting. Talk about cancer and beta-glucan.
Yeah, the many surprising results finding in the cancer, and when you besides of the tumor-specific antibodies, the orally administration yeast beta-glucan shows the surprising results, and it basically shows the better result on the phase 1, and for the lung, from the lung cancer, the metastatic neuroblastoma cancer, and various types of cancer, it shows the better results. And basically, it's usually it's used besides the plus the chemotherapy. Besides the chemotherapy, it's because during the chemotherapy, and the body is very that's.
Chemotherapy damages the healthy cells as well as the cancer cells. So the beta-glucan also appears to provide protection to the healthy cells, correct?
Yes. The beta-glucan helps the body recover the cell, and also they straighten the body, and they boost the overall immune system, and the increases the efficiency of the chemotherapy.
So, there's over 7,500 or 8,000 studies on beta-glucan. So understand this, I'm telling the audience, there is a lot of evidence of the effectiveness and therapeutic benefits of beta-glucan. With that being said, one cancer we know that does not respond favorably to chemotherapy is brain cancer, because the blood-brain barrier protects the brain from poison. And chemotherapy is seen by the body as poison. So whenever a person has a brain cancer, giving them chemotherapy 99% of the time is useless because it can't get to the brain. Does beta-glucan pass successfully through the blood-brain barrier, and can it get to the brain?
Actually, the phase 3 or the higher phases, the beta-glucan doesn't show so much results, but basically the studies which have done gave the better results phase 1 and phase 2. And
the earlier you use it, the sooner you use it.
Yes, earlier use give the better results.
Interesting. Okay. Let's talk about some very common autoimmune disorders like rheumatoid arthritis, irritable bowel syndrome. Is there any benefits to using or supplementing with beta-glucan in these types of autoimmune disorders?
The other, for the rheumatoid arthritis and for the
irritable bowel syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome and rheumatoid arthritis are both autoimmune disorders, like others, fibromyalgia. I mean, we have so many autoimmune disorders today. They autoimmune disorders outnumber any other type of condition today. So beta-glucan can be used with people who have autoimmune disorders like rheumatoid arthritis.
Yes, beta-glucan can be used in various diseases, like these autoimmune diseases, and from irritable bowel syndrome, or as you said, diabetes, and recurrent apoptosis stomatitis, and asthma, eczema, rhinitis.
Eczema, yeah. So are the dosing, is the dosing the same? Does 3 grams a day of beta-glucan, is that the dose for all of these types of disorders?
It changes the study, and the milligrams can be changed because in the papers they are trying different amounts, and for 3 grams advice for the diabetic people, and it can be changed from different diseases, and this 3 grams per day is for diabetic people.
So how does it work with diabetes? Is it a blood glucose disposal agent? Does it sensitize insulin? How does it work?
As you know, it's a soluble fiber, and the beta-glucan, as it is soluble fiber, it's decreases the it decreases the glucose
levels.
levels,
Right.
and it functions by decreasing the blood glucose, and it helps to regulates the blood glucose by the its content, fiber content, and also especially for the diabetic people, the oat derived beta-glucan is advised, because oat-derived beta-glucan, including primarily of linear polysaccharides, and it's decreasing the postprandial glucose and achieving the insulin responses. And beta-glucan shows hypocholesтерemic and hypoglycemic effects of by the help of its high viscosity and high molecular weight, and by these properties, by its high viscosity and high molecular weight, it decreases the postprandial glucose and achieving the insulin responses in diabetic peoples. And it's
So how does a diabetic person take it, Dr. Gürünlü? Would they take a small dose before each meal? Do they take it once in the morning on an empty stomach? How would they take it to help control diabetes?
Especially in after meals, they are in the papers. Yeah, after meals they are advising, and it's decreases the glucose blood pressure levels, and gives the better results on the diabetic peoples by its high viscosity and high molecular weight.
And so it's fascinating because beta-glucan is, as you said, it's a soluble fiber. So
yes,
that must mean that it interplays with the microbiome. Are there any emerging studies that show that beta-glucan can change the diversity of the microbiome in the stomach?
Yes. It changes the microbiome in the stomach, and it's as I said previously, it's regulates the irritable bowel syndrome, for example.
Right.
Also, ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. And,
colitis and Crohn's disease are a big problem. Also, these are other autoimmune disorders. These are all autoimmune disorders. Very fascinating.
Yes, by regulating the microbiome in the stomach, and they help to regulate these syndromes and diseases, and
let's go. Let me promote the book. We're about to take a commercial break.
Okay.
So let me do this. I want to tell people where they can get this book. This book is really should be used as a handbook. You should have it at home. It's called Medical Applications of Beta-Glucan. It is the summary of some 8,000 studies on beta-glucan, and it's broken down by different conditions. So you find the condition, and you can find out if beta-glucan will benefit you. If you go to shrnetwork.biz/beta, BETA-glucan, GLUCAN, it will take you right to a page to buy the book. This has been a very laborious process to go through all of these different studies and categorize the ones that were real, that were valid, that were well done, and then group them into different categories of disease states, and show through the scientific papers that were studied how beta-glucan affects this disease state and what it can do for you. Again, it's called Medical Applications of Beta-Glucan. And if you go to shrnetwork.biz/beta, BETA-glucan, GLUCAN, you can order the book yourself. You know what? Order 2 and give 1 to a friend. We're going to take one quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about chronic kidney disease and muscle building effects of beta-glucan. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Superhuman Radio. C60, also known as Buckminster fullerene, is the most powerful, most versatile antioxidant in the world. It's been shown in studies to double the lifespan of rodents. We all know the importance of taking antioxidants to slow aging, reduce inflammation, and improve mitochondrial function and energy production. But there are literally hundreds of antioxidants that would cost you thousands of dollars to take every day. I take one. I take C60 from C360 Health. Revive and Rejuvenate are 2 blends that harness the power of C60. Don't waste another minute. Go to shrnetwork.biz/revive and use the code SHR for 15% off and free shipping inside the United States today. Remember those rectangular toaster pastries you used to love when you were a kid? Well, Legendary Foods has just made them better. The new cake-style tasty pastry is like nothing you've ever had before. With 20 grams of high-quality protein and less than 1 gram of sugar, you'll feel like you're cheating, but you're not. Go to shrnetwork.biz/legendary and use the code SHR10 to save 10% off your purchase of tasty pastries. Now available in cookies and cream, red velvet cake, birthday cake, blueberry, strawberry, brown sugar cinnamon, and hot fudge sundae. Go to shrnetwork.biz/legendary and use code SHR10 today. If you'd like a shortcut to better sleep, more energy, and calmer, more stable moods, then you should make sure you're supplementing with magnesium daily. Let me tell you why. About 75% of people are magnesium deficient. This deficiency can lead to higher levels of anxiety, irritability, trouble sleeping, and low energy. It can even contribute to foot and leg cramps while you sleep. Magnesium Breakthrough by Bioptimizers is the single best magnesium supplement in the world. Simply take 2 capsules before you go to bed, and you'll be amazed by the improvements in your mood and energy levels and how much more rested you feel when you wake up. I take Magnesium Breakthrough every night, and I sleep better because I use it. Go to magbreakthrough.com/SHR and use the code SHR10 during checkout to save 10% off and get free shipping. Check it out. More than 240 million Americans take supplements daily in pill form, but poor nutrient absorption means the promised results are rarely achieved. Healthy Cell uses a clinically proven patent-pending gel delivery system that increases absorption by 165% over pill form. Go to shrnetwork.biz/healthycell. That's HEALTHYCELL today and use the code SHR to save 20% off your purchase of Healthy Cell supplements.
Dogs should be powered by fat and protein, not carbs. That's why Visionary Pet makes low-carb, ketogenic dog food for dogs of all breeds and life stages. From kibble to freeze-dried and even low-carb treats, all Visionary Pet recipes are very low-carb, ketogenic, and made with 100% real meat protein. Shop now and use code SHR for 20% off your first order today. Your dog deserves the lifelong benefits of optimal nutrition. Make the switch to Visionary and see why smart dogs eat low carb.
One of the best health hacks there is using an infrared sauna with regularity. But infrared saunas are expensive, you have to assemble them, and they require a great deal of space in your home to dedicate to one. But that's all about to change because I negotiated an amazing deal with Helix, the infrared sauna blanket company, so that every one of my listeners can take advantage of an infrared sauna in their home, apartment, condo, wherever you live. Take it with you. Right now, you can get an infrared sauna blanket for just $469, and if you want, you can break it into 4 interest-free installment payments as well. There is no longer an excuse not to have and use an infrared sauna. Go to shrnetwork.biz/helix. That's HEALIX. Use code SHR. Get this ridiculously inexpensive price now and 45-day risk-free. If you don't like it, send it back. But I promise you, you will love it, and you will never want to be without it ever again.
This is the Superhuman Channel, where we use oxygen for the power of good.
welcome back.
Well, hi.
We're talking with Dr. Betül Gürünlü,
Yeah.
who has authored the book, and the book is called Medical Applications of Beta-Glucan. You can get it at shrnetwork.biz/beta, BETA-glucan, GLUCAN. It's a great book, and it can help a lot of people. There are a lot of people out there that would benefit from supplementing with beta-glucan, as well as choosing foods that are high in beta-glucan in their diet. Some of those people are those with chronic kidney disease. And chronic kidney disease has become a really, really big problem because of a variety of other conditions where the kidneys become overworked. The development of fibrotic tissue in the kidneys makes them ill-effective, and people get on waiting lists to have kidney transplants. So how does beta-glucan help the person with chronic kidney disease?
Yeah. For the chronic kidney disease, as I mentioned, beta-glucan regulates the gut microbiota by decreasing the release of uremic toxins and improving the renal functions. And it changed the proteolytic metabolism to saccharolytic metabolism in microbiota found in healthy individuals. And it limits the production of colon-derived uremic toxins. Also, it elevates the endotoxin measurements. And in studies, 100 gram pasta, including 3 gram beta-glucan, gives to 26 healthy individuals. As a result, a reduction in low-density lipoprotein, LDL, and total cholesterol was observed. And also proteolytic uric toxins, P-series sulfates level decreased. And also, some studies have shown that high dietary fiber intake lowers blood urea, nitrogen, and creatinine levels in patients with JKD. Epidemiologic studies have linked elevated levels of trimethylamine and oxide and a good microbiota derived metabolite with increased cardiovascular events. And a diet supplemented with beta-glucan is a safe and potentially efficacious in lowering the serum concentrations of patients with CKD.
Interesting. And then you said earlier, you were telling me that beta-glucan may play a role in the ability to build muscle. How does it do that? How does it do that?
The scientists from Jianyang University in China analyzed the proliferation and differentiation, metabolism, and antifibrotic properties of beta-glucan in C2C12 muscle cells. And beta-glucan treatment could prevent myotubes from becoming myofibroblasts. Functional beta-glucan might have a therapeutic potential to improve skeletal muscle function, which might contribute to development of beta-glucan. And C2C12 myotubes treated with beta-glucan displayed a fast to slow muscle fiber conversion and improved the oxidative metabolism. And this improves the muscles and muscle development.
Interesting. You know, the fascinating thing to me is that beta-glucan seems to have a variety of therapeutic benefits, but you really, other than your book, you never hear about beta-glucan. I mean, you hear about it in passing. Oh, oatmeal is good for you because it contains beta-glucan, but really, nobody really focuses on why beta-glucan is so good and why more people should be taking it. Do you take it?
Yeah, actually, from my family, my sister have the upper sorry, respiratory tract obstruction in for a long years, and the doctors advised her to take the bread derived products. You can heard about Immunex or different names in the
is it like an inhaler where you breathe in the inhaler?
Not inhaler, as a some yeast product which derived from the bread. And it's increase the immune system, and this basically includes the beta-glucan. And my sister used this product. It's her throat aging lesser.
Interesting. That's fascinating. Yeah, yes. that really is something. I want to plug the book one more time so people can hear.
Okay.
The book is called Medical Applications of Beta-Glucan. You can get it at shrnetwork.biz/beta-glucan, BETA-GLUCAN. And again, this book should be used as a handbook because having it at your access, reading it, you can even go, I'm sure there's all the sources of the different studies are in there. You can go back and look at the original studies if you want to become smarter about it. There's a lot of things that are bothering people right now that probably could be helped by using beta-glucan. Let's see, we have a question here or a comment. This is from R. Vasquez 818 on YouTube. Good morning. Most supplements suggest to ingest before a meal, not after, as you stated. Please elaborate why taking it after a meal is ideal.
Yeah.
Well, he's asking you to explain most supplements, they advise to take it with or before a meal, but you're saying to take beta-glucan after the meal for diabetes, right?
Yeah.
So why should you take it after a meal? Why not before a meal?
Actually, as I see from the papers, they gave the patients in after meals. I saw in the papers. Maybe different applications could be in different papers, but
I'm with R. Vasquez, especially things that seem to have an effect on postprandial blood sugar. You usually take them before a meal. So cinnamon, apple cider vinegar. You take those before the meal because they slow gastric emptying, and as you slow gastric emptying, you slow the release of blood sugar, into the blood. And so you always take those before the meal. And R. Vasquez 818 makes a good point, because I would say probably take beta-glucan before the meal. So it also has, since it's a fiber, it's a soluble fiber, it would slow gastric emptying to a certain degree. But you're saying the papers that were done on diabetes, they were giving the patients the beta-glucan after the meal, correct?
Yes, but from different diseases, the applications can be changed. So it depends on the disease. For the aim of the use can be the according to the aim of the use, the application of the beta-glucan can be changed.
Okay. And you know what? I think you should experiment with it, whoever's using it. Like, because I have a feeling like taking it on an empty stomach could have some benefits. Since the beta-glucan is in there by itself, it's going to feed and nourish certain microbes in the gut. There may be some advantages to taking it on an empty stomach. However, with that being said, without supplements, you could never get beta-glucan without eating, because it's a component of all these different foods. So from a historic perspective, all of the reasons that we pay attention to beta-glucan is because it did all these magical things over thousands of years, and no one was using supplements. Nobody went to the bottle, opened the bottle, and took beta-glucan capsules. They were eating mushrooms. They were eating cereal grains. So there's the argument for taking it before a meal or with a meal, in my humble opinion, because we learned about beta-glucan because of people who ate foods high in beta-glucan presented certain benefits. So that's with the meal because it's in the food. So I would argue that taking beta-glucan with your meal probably would be the best thing, not after, not before, but with your meal, because that's how we have gotten beta-glucan historically in food. So that would be my logic. But thank you for that question, R. Vasquez. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, I want to promote the book one more time, and then I'm going to say goodbye, and we're going to take a break. This is a fascinating book, and I really do think that every household should have it. Medical Applications of Beta-Glucan, shrnetwork.biz/beta-glucan, and that will bring you to a page where you can order the book. I am ordering this book because any book that gives me knowledge on how to treat myself, not have to go to the doctor and get on medications and pharmaceutical drugs, is a winner to me. So it's a must-have. I want to thank you so much for being here today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Take care. Take care. We're going to take one quick commercial break. We'll be right back to wrap up the show. So stay with me just for a minute longer.
New Mass Pro Synthagen X2 just upped its own legendary game. To distance itself even further from the rest of the pack, Synthagen X2 now has double the key active ingredients. If you've ever wondered what steroid-like recovery feels like, Synthagen X2 delivers. See why others compare it favorably to powerful bodybuilding drugs at synthagen.com. Mass Pro Synthagen. When you train with it, you'll gain with it.
Have you been struggling to achieve results in the gym? Trouble sleeping through the night? Overwhelmed with stress or anxiety? Look no further than Infiniwell supplements. They have designed products to address specific needs like muscle growth, hormone balance, sleep, and anxiety from the first use. Infiniwell helps you live well. Go to shrnetwork.biz/bewell, that's BEWELL, and use code SHR20 and start living well today. Being superhuman means being conscientious about the choices we make. White Oak Pastures is superhuman when it comes to raising livestock. They're committed to animal welfare, land regeneration, and rural revival. They responsibly manage the entire process from the pasture to your doorstep. High-quality, pasture-raised, great-tasting meat from a farm you can trust. Full nose-to-tail selections. They even have options for your pet. Go to shrnetwork.biz/whiteoak and use the code SUPERHUMAN to save 10% off your entire first order. If you've listened to Superhuman Radio for any length of time, you know I'm a big proponent of peptides. One of my favorites is GHKCU, the blue copper peptide. It has the ability to repair and regenerate more youthful expression of skin cells, reversing the signs of aging. Restore a Cell's Stem Cell Awakening Serum, along with their other products, contains potent formulations of blue copper peptides and only the highest quality organic ingredients. Superhuman Radio listeners can now save 25% site-wide Go to shrnetwork.biz/blue and use the code SHR25. Remodel your skin today. If you've listened to this show for any length of time, you know that I have struggled to give up coffee for years. Coffee has destroyed my gut and it's impaired my health. Well, I haven't had coffee in months thanks to a product called Magic Mind. Magic Mind is the first nootropic blend I actually feel working. One shot and I'm good all day long. My memory is crystal clear and I'm able to function and have great focus without coffee or caffeine for that matter. If you want to try a product that really works, if you're like me and you want to give up coffee forever, or you just need something occasionally that will help you lift the brain fog, Magic Mind is your product. I promise you that this product you will feel when you use it. Go to shrnetwork.biz/Magic Mind, all one word, and use the code SHR for a whopping 20% off your first order. I would easily say that I am the hugest proponent you will ever meet to doing anything that will improve the quality of my sleep. And that's because sleep is linked to just about every metabolic disorder we see in our population today. One of the easiest things you can do to improve the quality of your sleep is to get a pillow that can be shaped into the exact form factor that allows you to get your best night's sleep. And that is MyPillow. I've been sleeping with MyPillow for a few years now, and I can tell you that when I have to travel and stay in hotels, I don't get a good night's sleep because I don't have MyPillow with me. Right now, you can save up to 60% off of everything offered to improve the quality of your sleep at shrnetwork.biz/MyPillow when you use the code SHR. Or you can call toll-free 800-889-4938. And remember to use code SHR to save up to 60% off of everything at their website.
Move over, superheroes. This is the Superhuman Channel.
Welcome back. Before we say goodbye, I had to tell you a story because you heard the commercial about me having to give up drinking coffee. Did you hear that commercial just now a second ago?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was a young man, I was traveling and I was in Yugoslavia.
Mhm.
And I would take buses and I would stay in towns, and then people would ask me if I needed a room. Zimmer, they'd say. And so I stayed with the Turkish couple, and it was so nice. And every day, the wife in the morning, she'd make turska kava, Turkish coffee. She would grind the coffee into a fine powder, and then she would put it in the cup with hot water, and the coffee grinds would float. And then little at a time, they would sink. And then once they sank to the bottom, you could drink the coffee. And I loved it. It was fantastic. And only because you're in Turkey, I wanted to tell you that story, that when I was in my 20s, I learned to drink Turkish coffee from a Turkish couple in Yugoslavia. Yeah.
Yeah, the Balkan countries also know the Turkish coffee because from the Ottoman times, and they know the Turkish coffee, and also Greeks also know the Turkish coffee, and we also prefer to drink the Turkish coffee in sugarless.
Right.
And but it can be tough for the first when you first taste it, and generally the other foreign peoples prefer to drink the Turkish coffee with sugar.
Right. I drank it black because that's the way they served it to me. It was so strong. It was like a lot of people, I drink espresso. Espresso has nothing compared to Turkish coffee. It really, it's amazing. And the way they make it, and you sit and you wait for the coffee grinds to float down. And once they're at the bottom, they're like mud down there. And they stick to the bottom of the cup, and then you drink it. Oh, man, it's so strong. It's amazing. I can't drink that stuff anymore. I'm too old. I'm 63 years old. I can't drink that anymore. Anyway, okay, we're going to end the show. Again, check out the book. Go to shrnetwork.biz/beta-glucan to get your copy today. Okay, Dr. Gürünlü, thank you so much for being here. Take care. We'll see everybody tomorrow with more Superhuman Radio.